and welcome to the chat on Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10-2. I'm David Lovejoy.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rhonda Lawnert. We lost him again.
Hey, we lost Chuck again. Well, that's okay. We've got Julie from Computer Transition Services Incorporated joined us this morning. Just a ton of stuff. We were just talking about some of the activities and things we're talking about. Data breaches, systems that are being compromised, and it can kill your business. It can be the downfall of your day-to-day operations. CTSI provides simple solutions to help you out in this complicated world. Miss Julie joins us. Miss Julie Heinrich joins us this morning. Julie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Sorry, I probably don't have as good of an intro as Chuck usually does, but.
I know. Yeah. Delicious.
Oh God. I mean, I guess we could go with it.
We could all be delicious.
We don't have to go there.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff going on. We've had spring break, March Madness, Women's History Month this month. What's going on with CTSI and the world of IT in this month?
So with CTSI, honestly, like we kind of have seasons. So similar to like, you've got seasons with the weather. At CTSI, we have different seasons where, in the fall, I talk a lot about cybersecurity. Not that it's not important every day of the week, but that kind of seems to be the season where we really try to focus on it. So the spring is actually more of data, and it's, all about data. What exactly is that? What does that mean? What does that entail? And with March, there's so much going on. Like you said, we've got March Madness, which I know some people are probably watching their brackets like crazy, and I have no idea how anybody's doing. I actually did not do one this year. I usually do, and I was like, I can't keep up with that right now. It's a lot to keep up with. But and
March is mad for a lot of reasons. So.
Oh my gosh, you're not kidding. And I feel like this March in particular has been like really mad. So I don't know what's going on, but maybe the weather. But also too, we have World Backup Day, so that's coming up March 31st. Which encompasses data, but it's talking about how do you actually protect it and back it up. And so we really kind of focus on that this month, not just this month, but, really kind of take like a deep dive into it, because why not? If there's a day around it, we might as well just talk about it. And so that's what I'm going to do today, is talk about it and tell you guys like why it's so important. And I think, I've talked about this many times before, but it still rings true that if you don't protect your data, if you don't have a way to back it up, and if you're not backing it up, you could be putting yourself at a lot of risk, because everything that's going on, David, we were just talking about it, all the cyber threats, all the things that are happening, all the breaches. If you don't have some sort of safeguard in place, you could go out of business, honestly. You could lose so much, and it's not just the financial aspect. There's reputation to think of, and there's your employees. It's a lot. And so, we really try to take this time to educate and just tell people, or remind people, even if you're already doing it, just make sure that you're testing it, making sure that they're working, kind of, maybe taking a deep dive into it and seeing if that's still the process that you're using is still working, and if not, do we need to reevaluate?
I'm shocked all the time by the fact that how many people and how many businesses don't do backup. They don't back up, and then when something happens, they have to start at square one all over, or it's a panic. It's crazy or whatever. But is that common? Do you see that a lot, where people just don't make it a habit, or don't think about backing up their systems? Having those backup files, those backup disk, or however you want to store it on the cloud, however you do it.
Oh yeah, we see that all the time, and actually what we see more of is you'll actually see people that they're backing up and they think that it's working, and they don't really think about it. They don't, like I was saying earlier, they're not testing it. They're not making sure that it's actually being backed up. And so then what actually happens is when they do have an issue, then they find out, oh, that wasn't backed up, and we've lost, a week, month, however many long worth of data. And that's really scary. And it's, there's been times we've seen businesses that have had to go back to pen and paper because they've lost all this data, and there's all this time. They have to get their employees involved to get all this time and get caught up. And that's the cost to your business. And so, that's honestly what we see more of, but we do see that too, where people are just not backing up, or they think that they're doing it enough, or, they're not really, they don't have multiple safeguards in place. And so we always talk about having the 3-2-1 rule, which is, 3 copies of your data, 2 different mediums, and 1 in the cloud, 1 offsite, because, you just never know if a tornado, God forbid, comes and takes out your entire building, and all your backups were in that building.
On drive,
it does you no good.
You mentioned one thing, testing the system, seeing if your system is working. Is that the advantage of working with someone like CTSI? Because normally most people don't test their system. They don't take it upon themselves to say, is there a loophole? Is there a way I can get in the back way? Or is there a way I can lose this or whatever? Is that one of the advantages of working with a company like CTSI, is that you do those type of testing?
Absolutely, yes. We test regularly. Like, I wouldn't say you don't necessarily have to do it like every minute or every day, but we do test. Yeah, we do test it regularly to say, hey, is this still working? Did this get backed up regularly? Is this going? And the thing too to also keep in mind is, can you restore it? A backup does no good if you can't even actually use the data.